Hey there folks, this is Paul, coming to you today with the body, talking to you with the body, about the body, trying not to be body identified as we talk about body identification. To be without a body is to be in your natural state. I'm not a body, I am free, because I'm still as God created me. God did not create the body. Therefore, if I'm free of bodies, if I'm not a body and I'm free, it doesn't mean I still have a body. I'm still stuck in one. I'm still operating one. It means I'm free. I'm totally free of bodies forever, because I'm still in the state of reality that my soul is in, that God created forever, where there is no bodies. So the whole purpose of I'm not a body, I am free is to get you to detach from the body and stop believing that it's yourself. Become identified with spirit. Remember your identity as Christ, and then let go of bodies, overcome bodies forever, to never again have to reincarnate. To be free of bodies. Bodies are not all they're cracked up to be. So when we're born, come into this world, and we seem to have a body, and we seem to have amnesia because of the unconsciousness, and the body shuts out a lot of stuff. And you start off with this belief that you are totally dependent on the world, you're dependent on your parents, you need outside help in order to survive and to eat and stuff. And you then are told that you are a body, and your parents talk about your baby body as if it's a person. Look at the cute little toes, look at the little sparkling eyes. And all of the conversation around who and what you are from that point onwards generally associates you with your body and never lets up. So it's like, look at any news program, look at any movie, any TV show, any encounter with people. Pretty much every single one of them is going to say something along the lines of you, I, in reference to the body. What are you wearing? I'm wearing a t-shirt, but not really. My body's wearing a t-shirt. What did you do today? What did my body do today? Who have you had sex with? Well, my body had sex. And you'll notice that just about the entire conversation across the planet is focused on this total assumption that bodies are people, that bodies are, physical bodies are who the person is. This is my hand, like as if to say, I'm literally looking at myself, that I have fingers, that I'm physical, and there are fingernails, and I have hairs, and if I pull a hair out, I've pulled a part of myself away from myself, and now I'm showing it to you. And as you look at the body, you look at how ridiculous the thing is. You wiggle your toes, you look at your fingers, like, is this what I really am? Am I a finger? Am I a tongue? Am I a pair of eyeballs? And it's just ridiculous to suggest that you are these things. You don't have any awareness of how this stuff seemed to get here. You don't know how to make bodies. You don't know how to make them function. You don't seem to be in touch with designing the entire body's biological system. You haven't got a clue how the body works. I don't even know if I have a brain. I might not. There's some evidence. So it's all a huge distance between what this body is and what myself can possibly be, that I can even think for a minute that I am a beard, or I'm a pair of thighs, that I have a nose, or that you even really have a face, or that you look this way. And then you grow up and you're looking in the mirror and you say, I'm looking at myself, and I'm cleaning myself, and I'm doing my hair, and I'm building my body, and I'm eating the food that I want to put in my body, and all this stuff all around the body, as the hero of the dream, believing that it's you. How am I looking today? Do I look good? Does my bum look big in this? Do these new clothes make me look good, or whatever? It's all this belief. I am this body, and it's absolutely false. It's a complete delusion to believe that you are a physical form, because you are a spirit being. You are made of mind. You are a soul. God created you in heaven. You are formless. You are deathless and ageless. As Jesus says, who you really are cannot be seen or pictured. You are invisible. You don't have an appearance. So that means you got to then realize this face is not really my face. This isn't how I look. Looking in the mirror, I think I'm looking at myself. You're not looking at yourself. You're looking at a body. This particular body seems to be male. It seems that I was born a man or whatever. And now, if I think that that is what I am, I'm actually now confused about what I am. And I can never be certain and strong and confident about being any kind of body. Because if I think it's me, if I think it's myself, I've actually gone away from myself, away from my soul, which is a living being of light, and I've started to identify myself as a body. So like you have people who I say identify as being gay or identify as a woman or whatever. If you identify as any kind of body, it is an artificial form of identity. The body is a picture of who you are not. It was made, the mind made the body when it was attempting to deceive itself. The body, you look at somebody's body, you're not looking at the person. You're blinded by perception of form. If you see their body, you are not seeing them. Christ's vision overlooks bodies and looks at the light that is beyond the body. The light beyond the body is the person. So, as a world, as a society, we are extremely confused about who and what we are. Thinking that I am a physical object, I am a body, I am a human being with arms and legs and a head and various appendages, as though to say, I actually believe this is myself. And that means I've taken my soul, my mind, which is absolutely nothing like a body whatsoever, and I've tried to force it into the shape of this body, to try to merge with the body, to make myself one with the body. Now I feel that I'm very close to the body, so close to the body that whatever happens to the body, I even interpret it as this is happening to me. I'm doing this. I'm the one feeling it. I'm experiencing it because of how close I've become. I've become bound and trapped in the body. And now I think it's myself. And everything that seems to happen to the body such as that, I think is happening to me. So now I might say, I just coughed. I didn't cough, my body coughed. If I think that I coughed, or I'm wearing clothes, I'm secretly naked underneath, I must be confused, because I've now identified with a lump of flesh and bones that is an illusion. The body is an illusion, it's a dream. It is a made-up fantasy image. It's just a picture. And so if my whole sense of what am I, who am I, has even the slightest bit of getting tangled up with thinking that I am this body, that anything about this body at all defines me, says anything about me, has anything to do with me at all, if I get any kind of credit for it, if I get any kind of accusations about it, if somebody says that I'm ugly, if someone says that I'm good looking, if whatever it is, positive or negative, if it's about the body, it's not about myself, unless I believe that I'm a body, and then I will take it personally, because I've now got confused about who I am, and I've lost sight of my real self. I now think that I'm a physical body. This person has just attacked my body, and now I think I am under attack, because I now think my body's under attack, and that it's myself. And so now I'm going to suffer along with it, because I'm confused about who I am. So almost think of it as, here's your body, and over here is yourself, entirely distinct, totally separate, not confused with the body, crystal clear picture of, this is what I am, this is what the body is. The two are not the same. The body is an illusion. You are a reality. Your body is a dream. You are a permanent, eternal, living spirit. You are nothing like a body. The body is nothing like you. So no matter what the body's state is, no matter how it looks, what it's doing, whether people like it or not, whether you like it or not, no matter what shape it is, no matter what color, what gender, what sexual preference it seems to have, how its chemistry works, what foods and diets it seems to prefer, what kind of sex it likes having, whatever kind of clothes fit it, or what makes it look good on a Friday night, has nothing to do with what you are as a perfect being that God created perfect and has no flaws and does not need a body to tell it what you are. So the body is a sensory device. It's designed to send out messages and visions and say, what do I see? What do I sense? What's out there? What's true of me? What's happening? And bring it back to you and to tell you what's going on. So if you think that you're the body and you start looking at the body and thinking that you're the body, you're now having your body tell you about the body, as if it's telling you about yourself. But you're over here as a spirit being without a body, listening to this crap, deceived and deluded, believing that the body is yourself, and taking these messages seriously. And so then you start preferring certain messages, and you start trying to change the body image. You start trying to adjust the body to make it more acceptable to you and others. Or maybe you even go the other way and you hate the body and you start attacking it and hurting it and damaging it on purpose, because you hate yourself and you think that you are the body. And so now your mind has become fused with the body. It now sees itself in the body as a body, and now it projects all of its self-hatred onto the body and attacks it. And now the body's getting sick, giving you more reasons to hate yourself as a body. And this is all confusion, because this is the thing. Becoming spirit identified is absolutely essential if you're going to wake up from dreaming. It is 100% required that you disidentify from the body and become identified only with spirit. I am as God created me means I am only as God created me. I only have what God gave me, and I don't have anything else. God didn't give me a body, so nothing about the body is about myself. You don't need it. So we have to realize that this is a huge part of A Course in Miracles. There's so many parts of it that are trying to get you to wean off of bodies, to change your identity, to get you to realize I'm not a body at all, not even a tiny bit, that I am only spirit, I am mind. All of my sense of self needs to shift to a perfectly clear recognition of who and what I actually am. So if I'm sitting here believing I'm a body, and I'm doing my hair in order to try to make myself feel better and all this stuff, and I'm confused about who I am, and I've now confused illusions with reality, and I don't have a clear picture of what's real and what is illusion. Now I'm lost in my body, and now I say, okay, now I'm doing A Course in Miracles, but I'm believing that I'm a body still, and I'm still totally identified with it, and I still want to be it, and I want to keep it, and I want to keep having sex, and I want to keep eating my favorite foods and all this stuff. If I've become bound to the body through pain and sickness, if I look at my body in the mirror and think that's me, I'm not really making that progress towards awakening, because the only way to be awake is to be aware of what is true of you. What is true of you is that you are a immortal spirit, and that you're not a body. You never have been a body, and you don't ever want to be one. So this is absolutely a vital, essential, required, mandatory part of A Course in Miracles, that if you're going to get towards miracle-mindedness, if you're going to get to that true perception, if you're going to have Christ vision, you have to be willing to let go of all the ways that you confuse yourself and others with physical bodies. You've got to look past your brother's body to his reality. You've got to look past your own body to your reality. So that means if you've got a big ego issue, such as your gender, or your sexual preferences, or the color of your skin, or your ethnic background, your ancestry, your family pride, your age, your size, anything to do with the body. If it becomes a thing where you're defending it because you idol worship it, and you want to keep it, and you want to emphasize, this is true of me, I'm proud of this, I'm proud to be an American, I'm proud to be a British person, I'm proud to be black, I'm proud to be white, I'm proud to be a woman, whatever, there is a level confusion going on, because you are none of these things. You are not a male or a female or anything in between. You don't really have a body. You're not of a certain ethnic background. Just because your body is, just because you had physical parents, just because you were born in a certain culture or a certain country, none of that identity is part of the identity that God has given you. God does not create genders and races and body types and preferences. God creates all of his children perfectly equal, perfectly whole, perfect in every way, immaculate, flawless, perfect beings of light, who are all identical and have everything that everybody else has. There are no differences. There's no, I'm special because I have this kind of body, and you're not special because you have that kind of body. So the whole body thing was made up by the ego, forms of separation. Every single one of them is different. No two are alike, not even identical twins. And for the purpose of creating chaos and war and conflict, as a picture of the crucifixion of God's children. You don't want to be this. You don't genuinely, deep down, want the body. You don't really love it. Jesus even says you hate it. You can't love it because it's not yourself. It's an illusion. So in order to be doing A Course in Miracles, you really have to realize, I need to look at the ways that I am identifying myself. Who am I? What am I? Am I really a 40-something-year-old male? Should I have a thing about men being amazing? Or am I simply not a male? Am I not this body? What if you've had past lives where in the last lifetime you were a woman? And what if in the lifetime before that you were of the kind of body and the kind of culture and background that you hate in this lifetime? You've been all kinds of bodies. You've had all kinds of different ones. This one just is one that you're renting temporarily, and it's got nothing to do with who you are. So we're actually born into false perception, where you believe my body is myself. Physical forms are the only reality. Everything about this body is true of me. I'm going to take personally every single thing that happens to my body. That is false perception. If you want to get to true perception, you have to get to Christ's identity by becoming clear about, what am I? Who am I? Did God create me as immortal spirit that has no form? I'm a shining light in heaven. Or am I some kind of physical object with lumps and bulges and ugly parts and nice parts, things that work certain ways and other things that are broken? Is that what I am? Am I really male? Am I really female? Am I really American? Am I really from Australia? Am I really Native American background? Am I really any of these things? Because who you are has to be this perfectly centered, clear, permanent, changeless, unmoved, constant sense of self that cannot be adjusting to a body. It can't be trying to take on the shape of a body or changing its sense of itself to adapt to the current body that it has. That, oh, I have to be a male because I have a male body, and I have to be a woman because I have woman body parts. That causes your mind basically to go away from your center, to change your form, your self-image, your idea of who and what you are, to turn it into and to try to line up with and to mirror or match your physical form, and to then say, this is what I am, this is how I look, this is what I'm like. And now you've actually gone away from that perfect center, the perfect ray of light, the great rays, which is so constant, so identical to all of the others, that the light that's in you is the same light that is in everyone else. The truth that's about you is the same truth that everybody else has. So it cannot be different forms, different bodies, different appearances, different biological functions, different faces, different shapes, different body parts. These must not be your true inner nature. They cannot be what God created. They're too different. There's too many differences, contradictions, too much that is not equal. The only thing true about you is the self that God created, that is perfectly identical to all the other children of God. And that means we have to be literally identical. We cannot have genders and sexes and preferences and backgrounds and genealogies and races and ancestries and all these family things defining what you are, trying to change what you are. That was the whole purpose of making a body, was to make an artificial identity that is not like you, in order to cover up your soul, to hide your mind, to present a picture that people can look at with their bodies, the body's eyes, and be deceived by perception of form, so that no one sees anyone. So this is why you have to develop and open the spiritual eye, which establishes Christ's vision, which overlooks bodies, does not look at bodies, has a holy relationship to the other person's soul, and recognizes that what is true in them, what's in them, what is their light, their identity, is the same as your identity. And therefore nothing about their body is true. Nothing about your body is true of you. So if you're using the body in such a way as to give you benefits, as to have it rub off on you, so to speak, to have people say nice things about it, and then you take it as like a compliment to yourself, to have people attacking you and saying bad things about you, and to then take it as harmful because you think it's true of yourself. Now we're in a problem, because now you are confused about who and what you are, and you've lost sight of your spiritual identity. We really are quite addicted to bodies. Just gonna blow out some air here. Gotta make the body cooler. Which has no effect on my soul. The soul never leaves the side of God. The spirit is in a state of grace forever. Your soul has not only been created perfect, it has been fully created. There is no lack in it, no emptiness. So here we are in bodies, seemingly having a weird relationship with the body, as if it's a form of clothing that you're wearing on top of your body, and it's starting to believe, I am my t-shirt. This is myself. When I look at my t-shirt in the mirror, I'm looking at me. If you say nice things about my t-shirt, I'm going to believe that you're saying it about me. And therefore, I'm going to get some ego benefit from that. If you don't like my t-shirt, I'm going to be upset because it's myself. This is what we're doing with the body, because we are actually one more time removed from the body. Your spirit is not your body. So we're having this weird kind of relationship with it, where we're like using it, and it's a device. It's like an instrument that you're using for certain purposes, and you're trying to make it obey certain laws that you make up, and you're trying to make the body accomplish things that it's not supposed to do. Like, the only valid use of sex is for procreation, and then we like how it feels, so we go start having lots of it. It's sort of a, oh, I want to use the body this way, and for what it seems to do for me, or what I get from it, or the messages, the sensations that it sends to me that I like. But if you think about it, if you were your real self and you are perfectly whole, holy, pure, innocent, awakened, forgiven, you are not the slightest bit interested in getting anything outside of yourself. You're not interested in believing that you have this codependent relationship with the body where it does stuff to you and you have a dependency on it and you get from it and you prefer what it says about you to the truth about you. And so you're putting body sensations and sensory inputs over your mind's truth to prefer and believe that these things about you are more true than the reality of yourself. So we're like using the body like a puppet to pretend to be somebody that you're not, to hide from yourself, to lose sight of who and what you really are as a mortal spirit being, an immortal spirit being. And so we're pretty damn confused, and then we actually are quite kind of addicted to this. Like, we're using bodies all over the place in ways that emphasize your joined nature with the body, that make the body real, that increase your dependency on it, that confuse you with it. Jesus says you are immortal and you cannot die, but you can confuse yourself with things that do. So he's saying, don't confuse yourself, your sense of what am I, with the body. So even your face is not your face. It's just this body's face. It's just a bunch of bones and structures and skin and stuff, and muscles and hairs and whatever. This isn't how you look. This isn't how I look. If you're seeing this, you're not seeing me. It's an illusion. It's an image that is being projected so that you don't see me. Fooled you. So we have to really look at this, because in order to be awakened, you have to become disidentified from the body. You have to remember who you really are. You have to realize that I am not a body, I am free. And to not enter into any of the ways that you become confused about being the body, and then start interacting with the world as though you are the body, and having people talk about how you look and what you do and what your body's doing, and it's all body based. It's not about you. It's all illusions. People using body eyes to look at other bodies and to tell them what's going on. It's all illusions. You, your mind, your soul has never done anything that your body's done. How's it go? The world of bodies is the world of sin, because only if there was a body is sin possible. Only the body makes the world seem real. So don't listen to the body if it's making the world seem real. You don't want to be listening to what it's telling you. Especially not what it tells you about yourself, because you are not the body. The body's just going to say, this is me, you are me, we are one. Trying to be joined with the body is exactly opposite to oneness. It is what causes reincarnation. To be without a body is to be in your natural state. This is a big topic, really. Lots of aspects to it, because this is also, body identification is also to do with how you become sick. It's to do with how you have relationships. your sense of self. It's whether you're being magical or miraculous. Whether you are in denial of God or whether you are accepting atonement, whether you're being forgiving, has everything to do with whether you are identified with your body. If you think, there's actually a part in the Course talking about the gifts that you give to your brother, and it talks about how when you present your body to your brother, you're giving him nothing, and you're trying to suggest to him that he's a body, and you're trying to make out that because you are body identified and he should be attracted to your body, that you're offering him this temptation. He is supposed to now fall for this and reinforce your mind's wrongful belief that you are a body, believe that you are a body, thus believing he is now a body. Both of you have now entered into hell. You're both now imprisoned in illusions because you don't overlook bodies. It's we're very, very gone far into this as a society, as a planet. Everywhere you look, every show on television, every single news broadcast, almost every single interaction you'll ever have with another person's body, at the supermarket or at the bank or whatever it is at your job, it's going to be talking about people as if they're bodies. And so as you become more aware that that isn't true of you, and it's not true of your spouse and your children and your parents and any other family members or anyone else, you're going to start realizing these bodies that you're seeing are not the people. It's just sort of their vehicle, like a car that they're using, and sometimes it needs some maintenance and stuff, but you're not really touching the person when you touch their body. This is why bodies cannot join. Your body touches their body, but your mind is not touching their mind unless you're joining in love. And if you're joining in love, do you really need the body to do anything? Minds need not bodies to communicate. If you perceive a body, you've entered into judgment. The sight that sees a body has no place in a holy relationship. We're supposed to overlook bodies, not believe them, not identify with them, detach from them, step back. But that does not mean, oh, my body can stay sick if it wants to and I can just detach from the sickness. The body is sick because of body identification. As you detach from it and realize that you are spirit and you're not a body, you're free, that will cause your body to also change its appearance, because the body is a symbol of your mind, and it will become healed. A sane mind heals the body. To try to symbolize what you are, but as Jesus says, the body you cannot be pictured or seen. And even when the Holy Spirit presents a picture of a healed body to another person to try to symbolize their innocence and as a symbol of eternal life, it still isn't really showing you. It just points away from sickness and attack and all that judgment shit, it's evidence of sin, and points towards something else. It's towards a symbol of your holiness, which cannot really be seen because you are invisible to this world. The body's eyes cannot see reality, cannot see the kingdom of God, cannot see the soul, which is why you have to use spiritual sight to overlook everything that the body sees, to see your brother, to see his soul and his mind, his Christ self, his real self. So if you're like having a thing about fat people, you've got a problem. If you're racist, you've clearly got a problem, because you, not even on the basis that it's judgmental and horrible, it's that you think that that person's a body. You have body identified with yourself, and you think you're a body, and you hate your body. That's why you're projecting it onto this person and being a racist asshole. So all of these attitudes about other people's bodies have behind them body identification on your part, where you're believing what you're seeing and thinking that these bodies are people and judging them in order to do so. If you overlook all bodies, Jesus says everybody should love everyone, regardless of their physical form, regardless of certain body shapes, types, appendages, things that stick out, things that go in, colors, shapes and sizes, should have nothing to do with your relationship to all of your brothers as equal perfect souls. That is the only equality. There is no such thing as equality on the level of form. Physical bodies cannot be equal. My body does not look like your body. It's fundamentally made of separation to try to prove that we're not equals. So if we're going to be equals, we have to ignore the body. This doesn't mean deny it. I know the body is a fact of human experience, but all that means is that you actually are denying spirit and therefore making bodies real. If you're making bodies real and then you pretend that you're not making bodies real to try to deny the body, you are now doubly denying. It's an unworthy form of denial. What you have to really do is examine, is the body even real in the first place? Stop making it real. Stop believing that the body's real. That is a proper use of denial. And now the body is denied and spirit is accepted. And you will identify with whatever you think is the truth. Your sense of self will attach to whatever you think is true and real. So if the body is real to you, you think you're a body. If the body's not real to you, spirit is real to you, you will believe that you are spirit. This is a big deal because this isn't kind of an optional thing. We actually at some point are going to have to look at all the ways that we're addicted to bodies, all the ways that we try to use them, all the ways that we have identified ourselves as with a body. The confusion of identity which has come from unawareness of the reality of your spirit, not being consciously totally centered in your spiritual self, your soul, this unmovable, unchanging, permanent shaft of light that you are. If you think that you've gone away from that and become something else, you've gone into the ego. So you've made a bodily identity in your mind, and now you believe and perceive that you are a body, and that materializes bodies. When you are fully spiritually identified, when you know that you are only spirit and not a body in the least, there is no body in you. You don't have a body as part of yourself. All bodies are unreal. The body is going to disappear because you no longer need it. It's not there. The body's nothingness becomes apparent, and everything that is there, that is real, is all that remains. It is your soul, it is your permanent self, your real self. You are a spirit being. You are only a spirit being. So we have to move totally away from trying to make certain body types okay as a counteraction to attacking certain body types, because the whole thing is bullshit. Even saying, women's rights, men's rights, all this kind of stuff, it's all made up stuff based on bodies. Souls are not men and women. You are not male or female. You are neither. God doesn't have a gender. So the more that you emphasize those things and be like, I am this warrior beast of a man, I am this girly girl, or I am this certain type of person, whatever it is, the entire spectrum has nothing to do with you. You are not a body. You are free of bodies. And once you become aware and accept that you are as God created you, only the truth is true, nothing else is true, it's bye-bye bodies. Excuse me. Just thinking of my last thought here. Somebody who is awakened but who still has a body, who hasn't really woken up all the way because they're still dreaming and having bodies, can use the body with the Holy Spirit, but in that state the body has no function. The body is not spiritual itself. It can never be spirit. It is an illusion. It's not actually holy, but it's kind of used for a holy purpose. So it sort of gets the sort of a holiness rubbed off on it. But the body is not real. Bodies are nothing. If you are real, if you exist, you cannot be a body. The body is clearly a device for separation, and therefore it does not exist. So in order to acknowledge that you do exist and you have a self, a God-given self, and that you're still the spirit being that God created, perfect, all this other stuff to do with your body, even believing that it's you, that you're looking at yourself, that this is your hand is part of your being, it's all got to go at some point so that you can wake up from the dream of being bodies and return to reality where you've never had a body and you don't need one because you're perfect. Anyway, I'm going to stop yabbering. God bless. Talk to you next time. Be.